Look, I'm going to be brutally honest about what happened between me and my husband, because I'm still trying to wrap my head around how I lost everything. My name's Tasha. I'm 29. And 6 months ago, I was convinced I had a love story people envied. Now I sit alone in an empty apartment, my phone constantly feeding me photos of my ex with his new girlfriend. And all I can do is ask myself how I ended up here. When Malik and I first got together, I felt like I hit the jackpot. He was handsome, successful, emotionally open. Most of all, he was obsessed with me. In a good way, or at least that's how I saw it then. He made me feel like the most beautiful woman alive. He'd brush my hair behind my ears just to look at me. He'd send flirty texts from the next room. It felt like something out of a romance novel. Even 3 years into our marriage, nothing changed. He still kissed me every morning, still reached for me in his sleep, still smacked my butt when I walked by in the kitchen. My friends used to tease me about it. "Must be nice having a man who still acts like he's dating you," my best friend Danny would say, rolling her eyes while her boyfriend sat silently next to her. I felt proud. I felt special. Like I had found the unicorn husband that every woman hoped for. But that pride started to curdle when life got messy. My job got demanding. Long hours, high stress, coworkers who couldn't carry their own weight. Then my dad was diagnosed with a degenerative illness. The visits, the paperwork, the emotional exhaustion. It all started piling up. I was tired all the time. That's when Malik's affection stopped feeling comforting and started feeling overwhelming. Every touch turned charged. A hug would evolve into him pressing his body against mine. A kiss goodbye would get deeper than I wanted in that moment. Even sitting next to each other on the couch would end with him getting visibly aroused. I felt like I couldn't breathe without activating his desire. The worst part? He wasn't doing anything wrong. He never pressured me, never made demands. If anything, he was trying to show love in the only way he knew how. But I started pulling away. At first, it was subtle. I'd keep busy during the times we normally cuddled. I'd turn over quickly in bed instead of spooning like we used to. When he kissed me, I'd give him the closed lip version and back away. He didn't catch on, or maybe he didn't want to. He just kept loving me, like always, like I hadn't changed. The resentment grew, slowly. I started seeing his affection not as love, but as neediness. I began interpreting his desire as pressure. I told myself he should be able to sense my mood better, that he should know when I wanted just comfort and when I didn't. I never said it aloud. I just simmered until I boiled over. It was a Wednesday, the worst kind of day at work. Deadlines missed, my manager blaming me for someone else's mistake, and an HR meeting that drained the last ounce of energy I had. I came home ready to collapse. Malik, as always, noticed. He made dinner, didn't ask too many questions, rubbed my shoulders while we sat on the couch. For a moment, I melted into him. Then his lips brushed my neck. His hands drifted from my shoulders to my arms, then lower. I felt him pressed up behind me, and I knew what was happening. Something snapped inside me. I turned around sharply and said it. "You always make everything sexual. It's disgusting!" I didn't even recognize my own voice. It came out so cold. He froze, like I'd physically struck him. His hands pulled away, his face blanked. He whispered, "I'm sorry. I love you. I can't help how my body reacts to you." I was too angry to care. "Figure it out," I snapped. "It's gross and I'm tired of it." Malik didn't say another word, just got up and went to bed. That was the last night we slept like husband and wife. The next morning, no kiss, no touch, just a polite, distant, "Have a good day." I thought he was sulking. I figured he'd get over it. But instead, he changed. No more hugs, no more random touches, no more sexual tension. At first, I was relieved. I could exist without feeling objectified. I could watch TV without being pulled into his lap. I could walk past him without feeling his eyes follow me. But then, it started to feel lonely. One night I was doing dishes and he walked past me to grab a drink. He didn't touch my waist, didn't joke or flirt. He just said, "Excuse me," and kept moving. I felt invisible. When I asked him why he was acting so different, he replied in the calmest tone, "You said my physical reactions to you were disgusting. I don't want to risk making you uncomfortable again." He wasn't mad. He was just done. I started to panic, tried to dress up, be flirtier, initiate. But Malik had learned to shut it all off. He'd smile, thank me, maybe even give me a short kiss, but never more. No depth, no spark. When I confronted him, he said, "I can't turn off how my body responds to you, and if that response disgusts you, the only solution is distance." I accused him of punishing me. He said, "No, Tasha, I'm respecting your boundaries." But what I didn't understand at the time was that I hadn't just rejected his desire. I had rejected the core of how he loved me. A few months later, he went on a business trip. Normally, we'd text nonstop. He'd FaceTime me from his hotel bed. This time, radio silence. When he came home, something in him had shifted. I tried to welcome him back the way I used to, hugged him at the door, tried to kiss him. He smiled, said, "Thanks, it's good to be home," and that was it. And 2 nights later, while we ate dinner in silence, he said it. "I don't think we're sexually compatible anymore. We should consider separating." I felt like the floor dropped out from under me. What, because I said one thing? "It wasn't one thing," he replied. "It was everything that came after. You never tried to understand how that comment affected me." Then he told me about the trip. A woman had flirted with him. She touched his arm, laughed at his jokes, made him feel desired. And in that moment, he realized how completely unwanted he had felt at home. "I didn't cheat," he clarified, "but she reminded me that it feels good to be wanted." I begged him to stay, promised I'd change, that I didn't mean what I said. He shook his head. "You had 6 months to show me that. You only want me now because you're scared of losing me." And he was right. Now he's with someone else, a 26-year-old nurse who apparently adores him. I saw them at a coffee shop once. She was tugging his arm, giggling, glowing. He looked free. And me, I wake up next to silence. I still don't fully get it. A part of me thinks he overreacted, that he should have fought harder. But the part of me that's finally honest knows you can't shame someone for loving you and expect them to keep loving you the same way. I thought I was setting a boundary. Instead, I set him free.